is Diane Smith. I'm a reporter at the Record-Courier, and I'm here to talk about my dad, Leroy Smith. My dad was a proud member of Teamsters Local 348, and today I'm here to explain why the Record-Courier News Guild is his legacy. So I grew up learning that you should never cross a picket line, what a scab was, and that every worker deserved union protection. So when a union organizer first approached me, the first person I had to ask was the union man who raised me. My dad was very clear in that conversation that unions were necessary. And in the months ahead, as my dad's health failed, he became more and more intent in seeing that I got union protection. Somehow he must have sensed that he wouldn't be around forever, and he wanted the union to look out for his daughter after he was gone. So today I'm here to explain how, for me, this union is very much my dad's legacy, because he encouraged our efforts even as his own life was drawing to a close. Over my dad's last months, I spent a lot of time with him, and I heard a lot of stories. My dad was born shortly after the Great Depression in 1936. He quit school as a young man, as many people did in that era, to help support his family. He took a job at a local grocery store, and there he and another bag boy got fired for trying to start a union. So they went up the street to the local Acme store because Acme was already unionized. Over the years, he rose through the ranks at Acme. He took some time off to serve his country in the U.S. Navy, and then he returned. By the time I was born, he was a driver out of Acme's warehouse, and he was driving food service all over the state of Ohio. And that put him under the protection of the Teamsters. It also gave him a lot of knowledge about local routes, and whenever we needed to know where to go, whenever we needed directions, we would always ask our human GPS. He and his wife started a seasonal business as Santa and Mrs. Claus when we were teenagers. But throughout our youth, he was always a Teamster first. The union had annual picnics at the local amusement park, and my dad and his union brothers would celebrate their solidarity while their kids rode the roller coasters. I always used to say that my dad was like a Timex watch. He took a licking and kept on ticking. No matter what health crisis, he would always bounce back. But in 2018, he didn't bounce back like he used to. We think that it was broken heart syndrome because his wife of more than 30 years passed away at the end of 2017. And when she died, it threw him. As Labor Day 2018 approached, my dad's worst fear became a reality when he sustained a stroke. We could barely understand his speech, but this didn't stop him from speaking. And I went to see him in his room shortly after his stroke. And the first words he said to me were, "Did you get your union?" He could barely speak, but he still knew that it was Labor Day weekend. So he was in his hospital bed, waxing philosophical about the importance of unions. Without a union, management can do whatever it wants, he would say. Meanwhile, at work, my fledgling union, which was then only in the early talking stages, was getting outed. We were subjected to captive audience meetings where we were urged not to vote in favor of a union. A few people were spooked, and the most vocal among us began actively job hunting. I couldn't. I needed a job with flexibility to spend as much time with my dad as possible. Our group had a meeting where we decided whether we wanted to go forward with our efforts. Some of us were uncertain, but I was adamant. And I said, I will not let my dad go to his grave without union protection for his daughter. But that was not to be. At least not then. My dad passed away in January 2019. Our union went underground, but it never died. It was always on the back of our minds. Every few months we would meet and see how much support we had. Well, today I can say that our union has 100% support of our newsroom. And I just want to say, Dad, it's been a couple years, but I can finally answer your question. Yes, we got our union. So this is for you, Dad, and for your brothers at the Teamsters.